Hey fandom, it's me Aaron for a comic show, New Comics Now. We've got a big bunch of books. Some I'm going to give a little bit more detail and review of, others I'm just going to mention. But this is one of the best weeks in comics in a long time. I've been just devouring these things. First is Constantine. I am so happy that this book delivered. There was some kind of negativity in my heart about Hellblazer, John Constantine's Hellblazer being canceled after 300 issues. 300 issues is a long, amazing, respectable run. I can still go back and reread those whenever I want. I hope at some point maybe Booster Gold pulls that Constantine from that timeline into here and they can interact or something. That would be cool. But speaking of this book on its own, Jeff Lemire and Ray Fox kicked ass. It felt like the Constantine from Justice League Dark, but kind of untethered from all that, and just more like the Vertigo one, where he's just a bastard. I mean, he's a bastard trying to fix things in a way so that I guess he can have some cigarette breaks or whatever. But reading it, he has this young guy that he's helping out, and I'm thinking, dude, this would be way cooler if it was Tim Hunter, because that would be a great kind of apprentice, magician book. But, maybe Constantine has to go through a few guys before he gets to something like that. I like the old guard of magic. I like Zatara stuff. I like that it was kind of like the books of magic in that way with these 4 elder magicians. And this is Constantine. This is the Constantine you love from Justice League Dark. And if you liked him from Hellblazer, I think that with what Jeff Lemire and Ray Fox, 2 Eisner-winning writers, deliver here is something that you would like. I think either of these guys could easily have written Hellblazer. And this is just in the DC universe, and I'm digging every minute of it. Vibe number 2, just as good as number 1. Johns is still on it, co-writing, and it is a lot of fun. I liked it way more than I thought I would. If you read number 1, you know how heavily involved it is with Darkseid and the big deal thing coming, and I totally enjoyed it. Justice League 2, I love this book. Number 1 was okay. It was good. It was a lot of setup. They're putting all these characters together, and they're all kind of like counterbalances to the Justice League, and it was a good start. This book had heart. This book had just crazy funny interaction, made me laugh out loud between a bloody Hawkman and the young Vibe, and a Catwoman interaction with Steve Trevor that really adds some depth to her character that we haven't seen much in the New 52 of, yes, she's a thief, but she's a thief that wants to get in there. She wants to understand people better. It's touching. What her and Steve Trevor are similar in that Wonder Woman left Trevor and Batman left Catwoman. So let's see, maybe we'll have a relationship there. Justice League 18, this is one of those like membership drive issues. I know if you've been reading this, the team has dwindled down, and now there's a whole bunch of new recruits, and we do get to see stuff about that female Atom we just saw for a couple panels. We actually have, speech bubbles from her. Awesome. Wonder Woman, I love this cover. I just love everything about that. She's powerful, she's strong, she has a sword, but she's protecting a baby. I mean, isn't that like the most badass a woman can get? That's freaking awesome. I love this run of Wonder Woman, and this issue had a lot of resolution. New gods are in it, the baby's in it, and it delivers. As far as Requiem, you got probably the most important one is Red Hood. I kind of dig where Lobdell's leaving Red Hood with Batman. The Catwoman one, you see some stuff between her and Batman in the aftermath of Damian. And Nightwing was pretty darn good too. It just wasn't all that much of the issue. It's the first half of the issue. It was cool. Batman, you got the softcover volume 1 out. The hardcover's been sold out for a few weeks. Nice to have that. And the hardcover of number 2, which was the actual City of Owls. This was the Court of Owls. This is the City of Owls. You get them both. You have the whole Owl storyline. So good times there. Nothing really big from Marvel to talk about. Superior Spider-Man. Love this book. You saw last issue where he actually used his gun. You have the Avengers saying, some of us have all killed before. Thor's killed, Wolverine's killed, but really in cold blood like that, they're cutting him some slack. They know he's been through a lot. And then he does some over-the-top, unnecessary violence with Screwball and Jester. And it's actually quite funny in a dark comedic way, but the descent of Peter Parker as how scarred he is from being bullied his whole life and now having this power and this responsibility and this respect, but never dealing with his wounds of being bullied, it's going very awry. All New X-Men. I love this book. Can't get enough of this book. Cyclops has a little hissy fit. If he wants to talk to Mystique and he wants to be Mystique's friend, he's going to be her friend. And I have to remind myself, he's like 12. So, this hot chick wants to befriend him. He's like, screw you guys. I can make my own friends, Mom. I don't care if you don't like her. Avengers, you got New Universe. You got Starbrand. These are kind of the one-shots just kind of showing us these new characters. And I love how the team's going big, but it's also Hickman's making the Marvel Universe go big, including the Hyperion from that universe and Starbrand from the new universe, and I'm digging it. I am anxious to see them actually start kicking some ass, but I do like that I'm getting emotionally invested in all these new characters before that happens. So Hickman's the man, and he always delivers. Speaking of Hickman, New Avengers is out, freaking Galactus on the cover. I mean, this book is so heavy. Just the Illuminati and what they're facing, what brings them together is just trippy. I love it. You get the finale of Deadpool, and Brian Poe saying fundamentally changes Deadpool. Fundamentally changes Deadpool. Like, he thinks he's one thing, and maybe there's another voice in his head that's actually not an alternate psychoses, tripolar disorder thing. It's freaking hilarious. And I know there's a lot of humor is going to come out of this. You'll enjoy this if you like the other issues, but it is a major seismic change in Deadpool's head. And finally, Nova #2. I liked it as much as #1. I really like this book. I'm sorry, I know it's Jeff Loeb and McGinnis, and I know sometimes in the past their stories just read like you're smashing two He-Man figures together, and it's just this big, endless fight scene of two muscle-bound balloon guys. But this, it's the young boy, you got the raccoon, you got Gamora, and, they're not just like Superman versus Bizarro with it. So his art is, I'm digging it a lot more, and this story, I'm fully getting invested in this. And I read Guardians of the Galaxy #1. I freaking loved it. I love Rocket Raccoon. And this Nova's delivering. Saga, this issue was one of my favorites yet. So much happens in this issue. You find the final fate of the kitty cat, the lion cat, you find the final fate of his dad, and you get a whole lot of insight. You see the actual conception, the first page is the conception of, where they have the sex. Great issue. If you were looking for a little bit more emotional stuff that you got with maybe Why the Last Man, it's in here heavy, heavy, heavy. 5 Ghosts, I got the Fandom variant, which has one of my favorite guys, Ben Temple-Smith on the cover. 5 Ghosts is essentially there's 5 different archetype ghosts that are possessing or inhabiting this guy Fabian Gray. You got a wizard, an archer, a detective, a samurai, and a vampire. I read it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's like a noir, mystery, supernatural book. If any of that is doing something for you, check it out. Revival. You guys know I love this book. Another Phantom variant. You got the creepy old man that jogs around town and hits on the girls. I'm glad we have these positive role models in comics. Invincible 101. Obviously, I can't say anything because I can't ruin issue 100 for anybody. But if I don't mention it, people yell at me. Got Harbinger 10. You guys know how much I love Harbinger and how excited I am for Harbinger War. And Planet Death starts here for X-O Man of War. And I'm hoping the Planet Death is the death of one of the Vine planets, not Earth, obviously. But Robin Vendetti is kicking so much ass. This book made me cry. I have to mention Transformers more than meets the eye, but several bots died, and it's not saying who. You already knew there was going to be death at the cliffhanger of the last issue that says next issue, death. But it's terribly sad, but definitely respectful and definitely heavy. And I loved it. I love this guy's writing. My Little Pony. Look at this cover. It's Franz Frazetta. This is freaking awesome. Frazetta cover, and it's like that death dealer horse or whatever with the turtle. I don't know. I love it. Star Wars Legacy. This is a new #1. It's a Solo in the future, not a Skywalker in the future like the other Legacy. And you got one of them like Mon Calamari sidekicks that's kind of like the 3PO thing. Like he's always nervous and has a bad feeling about this and just kind of like cowers around with her. But she is a badass. She is a descendant of Han Solo and I guess Leia by, whatever. But, she's a Solo and it's awesome. So if you liked Star Wars Legacy with Cade Skywalker, I would check this out unless you are, some type of misogynist and don't want to read a book with a female lead. And Avatar, you guys love this, continues the show. This is book 4, which is part 1 of a new story. So, and finally, massive by Brian Wood. If you like Brian Wood's Star Wars for those 3 issues, or you liked his DMZ, this is great. He takes these original ideas and kind of makes his regular story of, a rebellion, of some type of political thing where there's this underdog trying to fight the man. So whether that's Star Wars or whether that's DMZ with the new Civil War there, or Massive, where every environmental apocalypse all happens at once. And you got these people that were, Greenpeace protecting whales and whatnot. They're like, oh crap, now there's no government, there's no nothing. They're just us trying to protect the environment after the apocalypse. What is there left to protect? And their pacifism, it's like their pacifism was kind of a privilege or a luxury they had under the rule of law, under the rule of governments, that they could kind of get in there and be pacifists. But now that there's just pirate rule, do they really have that luxury to be nonviolent, or is that just going to get them all killed immediately? And I love post-apocalyptic stuff, but I love it when they really play both political and the soul into that. And Brian Wood's book has soul. So, The Massive. Thanks, guys. Enjoy these comics. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching this video. Click subscribe if you want to. That's cool. Share it on Facebook. Check out our Facebook. And if you're local, we have an anime night this Friday that's going to be pretty awesome. We have Walking Dead for members of the Geek Easy on Sunday nights, which is a pretty exclusive, fun event. And next Wednesday, we're going to have a Guardians of the Galaxy #1 party, and it's going to have beer, because we have beer in the Geek Easy now. Thanks, bye.